it's Andy here from A Media Games. In this video I'm going to show you how to use event dispatchers to set up a simple basic code for triggering events when you interact with a specific or different object in your level. So this can be good for horror games. You could add like an event that happens when you pick up a phone, open a specific door, turn on a certain light, etc. So to do that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to somewhere that we want to store those objects. We're going to right click, go to Blueprint class. We're going to open that, we're going to select actor. We're going to do that again, so we're going to go right click, go Blueprint class, we're going to get another actor. So this one here is going to be our dispatcher object, and this one here is going to be our receive message object. I'll explain while I named those to those, well, I'll explain why I gave them those names in a minute. So I'm going to drag both of those into the scene. It's got one there, and we have one there. Okay, so let's open up our dispatcher object first. And in here we can see that we have nothing at all. Nothing in the event graph, nothing in the construction script, and nothing in the viewport. We have nothing in the components panel, and we have no event dispatchers. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a cube. So let's get a static mesh. So this will be whatever you want to set yours up to be, but for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to use a default cube. Let's make sure I shrink it down, it's a bit big. Let's see what that looks like in the level. Maybe a little bit bigger, like so. Let's have a look. That'll do. Let's place it on the ground. Oops. There we go. So that's that done. And we need to set up some code in here. So what we want to do is in our dispatcher object, we're going to set up an event dispatcher, and this is going to be our call. Well, we don't need to name it anything like call, but I'm going to name it that just for the tutorial. So call event from interact. So this is going to be our event dispatcher for this object, and in here we're going to set up some code. So let's do something simple. Let's add an audio component, so we can make like a radio. So we're going to drop that in. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to add our audio. Excuse me. And in here we're going to go to class settings. Now I'm going to use my blueprint interface, but you need to use the one that you set up yourself. So I'm going to add the one that I created. Just make sure you use the one that you created, which will be named differently to what I have. Okay, so we have use open close, which is mine. So yours will not be named the same as mine unless you named it that. So whatever you created your blueprint interface as is what you want to search for in there. So we have our audio, so we need to select a sound to play. So I'm going to use a music box. Let's see if I can find a music box. Let's see what we got. Do we have one? Yeah, we do. So I'm pretty sure some of you have probably heard this before. So let's turn off auto activate because we don't want it to play straight away. And now that we've done that, we can start adding some code. So let's compile, and this is going to be our event blueprint interface. So event use open close, which has the blueprint interface symbol. And the next thing we're going to do is add custom event. I'm going to copy that a couple of times. So put that there, copy that, and copy it again. So we should have 3 custom events and the blueprint interface. So out of the top one, I'm going to name this one toggle radio. This one is going to be video on, and the bottom one is going to be, yeah, you guessed it, radio off. Excuse me. Compile, and then we have our free events and our interaction detection for our interface. Okay, so this one is going to be toggle, and then we're going to get a branch, so B and left click for branch. Out of true, we're going to set off. Out of false, we're going to do on. We're going to create a variable, is on, question mark, and that's going to go in the condition. So we have toggle radio. If the radio is on, so it's true. Is the radio on? Yes, it's true. I'll turn it off. Is the radio on? No, it's not. Turn it on. Okay. So let's move this down. The next thing we're going to do is set up our code for our audio. So we're going to go play and set that up there. And then we're going to do the same again. Copy, paste, and stop. So play and stop. Simple little music box. Pop that on there to make it a little bit tidier. Pop that on there. So this one, oops, this is going to be our blueprint interface interaction. And oops. Okay. So this is going to be our blueprint interface interaction. This is going to be our toggle radio on and off. And let's do 32 on that one. Let's change the color. So this is going to be our toggle radio on off, and this is going to be our on code. This is going to be our off code. Okay, so turn radio on code. Let's do 32 on that one. Let's move that out, move that up, just like so. Now that we've done that, we can do, spare me 1 second. Sorry about it, I got distracted by a message. So now we've done that, we can do our radio off code, and we can also set the size for the text there to 32. Okay, so that's done. This is done. And now we just need to tell this basically to call. So let's do our call function for this. And we're going to set this as well. So grab this is on, place that there. Grab this is on, place that there. It's on if it's on, so it's set that variable. It's off if it's off, so it's off here. And then out of this one, we're going to get our event dispatcher, drag and drop that on, get call. There we go. So when we turn the radio on for the first time, it's going to send out a message like a phone call, and then we need something to pick that up. So compile, that's all done. Excuse me. Back into our level, we need to set up our picture frame. So we're going to open that up. This, oops. Did I do it the wrong way around? No. Okay, so we're going to open up our picture frame. This is going to receive our message. And we're going to add a static mesh. Just do it like a cube, which will do. And we'll give this a shape. Oops. This is going to be our picture frame. We want to simulate physics on this, and we call the event. So we're going to make this into a shape of a picture frame. We're going to make that a little bit thinner, compile it, check that in the level. Okay, that's fine, that works. So now we have our picture frame. We need to tie these two together. So, go to our level blueprint. Excuse me, let's get a drink 1 second. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're in our level blueprint now. So we go to here, level blueprint, and you can see, oops, that we're in our level blueprint. So we're going to get an event begin play. And we're going to bind a function to this. So in our level, we're going to click on our little radio, and then we're going to go back into our level blueprint, right click, create a reference to dispatcher object. This is going to send out our phone call, and then we're going to bind, and then we can see here, bind event to call event from interact. And I'm going to plug that into there. So on event begin play, it's going to bind any event to this object and wait for that call through an event. So let's compile. We can't compile because we need an event. So we're going to go to our add custom event. Add custom event. I'm going to name this one to simulate. Oops. Helps if I select it. Simulate physics. That's not how you spell physics. There we go. And we can see here we have a delegate pin just here, and we can plug that into our event just like that. Now that we've done that, we can drag out of this and create any code that we want. So what's happening is, in our radio, when the player clicks on this and turns the radio on, it fires off this code, it plays the audio, sets the variable to on, and then sends out a phone call, a message, right? It's trying to interact or send out a signal, like the bat signal. When that bat signal is seen by the level blueprint here, so when it receives that signal, it will fire off this event. So that's the simplest way I can try and think of explaining it. So when we fire off this event, we're going to call an event, we have to create that code. So we're going to get a reference to our picture frame in our level blueprint. I'm going to right click, create a reference. So this is going to be our receive message object, because this is going to be the one that's interacted with or fall to the floor. So we're going to go simulate physics, and we can see here our picture frame. That's going to go into there. I'm going to tick check on like so, and this will work. So we compile that. So this one's sending out the signal in the level blueprint. The event has been binded to this object. Once it receives the call, it will simulate physics, because it will delegate that event to that signal. So once more, this is sending out a message. This is receiving that message. When it receives it, it fires this code off. So that's all it is. So let's go into the game, and I'll show you. We can see straight away that it fails. Yeet. I reckon that'll make it to Mars quicker than Elon Musk. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, for performance and just for better flow in the behind the scenes working gears, CPU, GPU and all that stuff, what we can do is we can unbind, because every time the player clicks on that radio, it's going to be trying to set this to simulate physics. So what we can do is get a copy of our dispatcher object, paste it, and just down here we can do a delay. You don't have to do a delay, but you can do. We're all going to do a delay here as well, because we can see it all work. Put a 2-second delay there. So when this message is received, it fires this code. 2 seconds later, it will simulate physics. 2 seconds later, it'll unbind all events connected to this dispatcher object, and then it'll play a message. So let me show you that. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to go unbind. So it's this one, call event from interact. So we go unbind, and then we can either do all or unbind event. So we can be a specific or all. So we'll just call all, unbind all, pop that into there. And then here we're going to do a print string, like so. Events unbinded. Okay. Duration will do 4 seconds, just so you can see it. So what this is going to do, it's going to decouple this. So this code will all work, but this will no longer work. It'll only work once. Okay, so let's play. We'll click on our radio. 1, 2, picture frame falls. 1, 2, events unbinded. So no matter how many times I click on this, nothing else will ever happen, because it's now unbind that event. That's it for this video. Any questions, leave them in the comments box, or you can join me over on Discord. Let me turn that off. Yeah, so you can join me over on Discord. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you found it useful, let me know. But yeah, help me out by subscribing. I'll help you out by uploading more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.